Make sure you are seated comfortably, your body relaxed. Close your eyes and focus your attention on your breath, feeling the gentle rise and fall of your lungs. Allow any tensions and worries to slip away with each out-breath, releasing all negativity, with each in-breath drawing in purifying, clean air. Slowly let all outside concerns fade away. The space around you begins to darken as your attention moves inwards. Your awareness of the world around you recedes, leaving only a peace, a quiet, a darkness. You rest a moment in the darkness, feeling yourself safe and secure. The darkness spreads out in all directions, vast and silent. You rest within the great void, Ginunga Gap, the emptiness before creation, before the beginning of time and the birth of space. Within this void all things will come into being. In the very distance on either side of you, you're aware of the realms of fire and ice, so far away you can barely perceive them. Through their union, force and form will come into being and the worlds will be set in motion. It is in this place that you will meet Algiz. In the centre of the void, you see a small light, a tiny spark of vitality. We will call the name of the Algiz rune 3 times to bring it into being. Through the power of your voice, the spark of light transforms, glowing silver and becoming the shape of the Algiz rune. It grows larger and larger, shining brightly in the darkness, steadily moving towards you until it comes to a rest just in front of you, waiting for you to enter. Slowly, you pass through the rune and into the realm beyond. You stand in the middle of a marsh in autumn. The sky is grey and bleak. A V of wild geese flies overhead, crying mournfully. The ground oozes beneath your feet, thick mud clotted with tangles of dead reeds. Sedge grass grows tall around you, and you are careful not to touch it, knowing that the sharp blades of marsh grass will bite and burn into your hands. As you make your way through the marsh, you begin to feel that you are being stalked. You hear splashing and faint sucking noises behind you, but when you look back, you see nothing, and when you stop, the noises stop too. You know that the marshland is both a place of shelter and of danger. It provides the only safe refuge for those running from the law, outcast by society, dangerous, bloodthirsty and desperate. In the marshlands there is no law, only survival. You would like to light your torch, but know that this would only serve to make your presence more obvious. Instead, you trace the Algiz rune in front of you and ask for its protection. In the silence, your ghostly follower has also stopped, but you know they are still nearby. At first nothing happens and you stand still and alone in the marsh, fearful and uncertain. You have almost resolved to run, hurtling through the sedge grass and the treacherous waters rather than waiting in terror, but at last you see a faint silver light through the darkness. It seems to hover ahead of you, bobbing in the air. Suddenly it darts to the side, and a screech of terror indicates that your stalker has taken flight and is now running away at high speed. The silver light returns to the path in front of you, and you start to follow it. For a while the path becomes easier, and eventually you hear the sound of water ahead, but as your feet sink into the deep mud of the marsh, you begin to doubt your ghostly guide and wonder whether you have been lured into the shallows deliberately. You see a dark patch of still water ahead. Your guide has stopped just to the side of it. You resolve to trust your guide once more and carefully walk towards the water, lifting your feet with great effort out of the mud. Nestled in the grass beneath the silver light of your guide, you see a shallow boat. With a gasp of pleasure and relief, you climb aboard and, taking up the single oar, you push the boat outwards into the dark water, following your guide, who now bobs and glides above the marsh waters. In the pre-dawn light you make out a vast shape upon the horizon, perhaps a mountain or a cliff. As you get closer, you see that it is a great tree, shimmering with its own bright light, its branches reaching so high into the sky you cannot see where they end. Your guide now rises up as if drawn by a powerful pull towards the crown of the tree. As it rises higher and higher, it seems to you that its flight resembles that of a great bird with wings of purest white. You realize that your attachment to your guide has grown immensely strong, and now that it is racing away you feel lost and alone, sitting in your boat at the foot of the giant world tree. What worlds is your guide going to explore? What adventures will it have? And what are you to do, left behind in the marshland? Still, you have a glimmer of hope in your heart, and you raise your arms up to form the shape of the Algiz rune, half in salute, half asking your guide to return to you. High above, you see that the pattern of the guide's flight has changed. Its arrow-like path up the world tree has become a series of loops, and in the centre of these loops a shimmering haze begins to form. Your guide circles downwards, forming loop after loop, drawing the haze of light downwards as it travels. As you watch, the haze becomes more distinct, suffusing in a glow of red, orange, yellow, blue, green, indigo, and violet. Your arms still upraised, you watch in awe as the rainbow's light slowly descends, forming a ribbon-like path through the air. Steadily your guide draws the rainbow downwards until it dips over the waters and comes to a rest in front of you, forming a beautiful arc upwards into the sky and the crown of the world tree. As the gentle light of your guide touches you, it suffuses into purest gold, whirling around you, enfolding you in its protective light. With the rainbow rising high above you, you realize that the light that has led you and the golden light that surrounds you now is your own personal guide, that it exists as part of you always, your own higher self which guides the way and protects you as you journey. You know that, should you wish, the rainbow path is now open for you and your guide to travel between the worlds, but for now you are content merely to commune with this part of your spirit that has led you safely through the marshes and opened the gate to the Bifrost Bridge, the rainbow bridge that leads to the realm of the gods. You drink in the protective radiance of your guide, feeling it at the tips of your fingers, flowing through your blood, filling your entire being. You close your eyes and feel a gentle kiss brush your forehead. Its touch is a crown of warmth, its power strong and radiant. Then it is gone, and in its place you feel a tingling Algiz rune, the sign of your guide, now marked upon your forehead. Slowly you lower your arms and draw an Algiz rune in front of you in shimmering rainbow light. In spite of its ethereal colours, the rune is strong and vibrant, floating over the marsh water. With your pole you push your boat towards it and allow your body to pass through it into the quiet darkness beyond. Standing in the darkness, you give thanks to the rune for its lessons and energy. You watch as it fades away, leaving you in darkness, ready to return to your physical form. Slowly you let your attention return to your body, feeling the darkness around you start to fade. You let your awareness expand to the space around you as the darkness recedes. You feel yourself centered within your body, your attention focused on your physical presence, your breath and your heartbeat. The Algiz rune has gone, and you begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, bringing yourself back to normal reality. Take your time, and when you are ready, open your eyes.